If you've seen me, there's always a special kind of energy, and that is kill or be killed. And I don't care who's in front of me, you have to take me out, otherwise I'm taking you out. I've dedicated my whole life to this sport. I literally do not do anything else. I just sleep, breathe, eat MMA, and I'm coming for what's mine. Growing up wasn't easy, born into a world of uncertainty. I always wanted more for myself. Luckily, I was gifted with the mind of a warrior. I believe God tests his favorite people in life, so I see all my tough times as blessings. We lived in public housing just like this, barely scraping by. I grew up with my mum and my little sister in a humble flat. That's where my hunger started. I felt many challenges in life, all sorts from living in public housing. But before that, we didn't even have that. We were living in cars, we were living in a church, basically on the street. You know, kids that grow up in places like this, they usually don't get a second chance at life. Myself, I thrived in this environment where most wouldn't make it out alive. It was hard, but within these walls we had love and determination. My mother taught us to believe in ourselves no matter the circumstances. I was just 18 when I lost my father. He took his own life. I felt lost and I didn't know how to make a living. I didn't have any male role models, so joining the military felt like the way forward. At the time, I had a coach who offered me a job as a full-time MMA coach. I'd been training BJJ since I was a teenager. I remember he told me I was a perfect piece of clay and only had to be molded the right way. So I started training, pouring my grief at losing my dad into MMA. I wanted to be more than a kid from public housing. I knew I had to fight, not just inside the cage, but in life. I refused to let my past define me. I'll continue to fight, not just for me, but for all those people that need a glimmer of hope. My first few years of training MMA was a grind. We trained like animals. I was training with heavyweights, light heavyweights. I was basically the smallest man in the room. I use all my hardship in life and I see it as blessings, so I only let it fuel me in the cage. I don't let my past come into the cage anymore. When I step into the cage, it's almost like I'm emotionless. I'm cold. Cold killer. I'm a BJJ black belt, a ruthless one. When I step into the cage, I'm always looking to perform. I'm always looking to make the crowd go wild. I've got 7 finishes, 2 by knockout, 5 by putting men to sleep. I'm the current HEX featherweight champion and a world title holder in Belgium. My last fight for the HEX belt, I was nervous taking this fight, knowing that my opponent Jared had 12 weeks to prepare. I dug deep and I thought about everything in my life, and I knew that even on my worst day I can take this guy out. I'm a professional fighter. I'm not trained for a man from the outside to pull me off and touch me. I'm trained for a man to tap. If you do not tap, you will go to sleep, or worse. The emotions that I felt winning the HEX belt, it was a sense of relief. A sense of relief of all my hard work that I've put into this sport, followed by a massive high. Someone coming to try and take the belt off me, I simply channel my inner warrior, my inner Genghis, and I imagine this man on a horseback, riding with his men into my home, trying to kill my family, trying to take everything that I've worked for. It's simply not going to happen. I will die on my sword and I'll die in the cage before you take that belt.
Genghis! Kaan Ofli!
There's always doubters in life whenever you're trying to be great. My current doubters are the guys that lose to me. I guess I leave a mark on their soul for the rest of their life. I do believe I'm overlooked. At the end of the day, there's guys in the UFC, there's guys on bigger leagues that are not on my level. Every fight I have is going to be a 50K bonus, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for wars, I'm looking for battle. I am the best featherweight in the country. I've been the best for the last 5 years. I want to get into the UFC, every fight being a 50K bonus, buy my mother a house, buy my family a house, and drive off into the palm trees and sunset.